My surname is Down, D-O-W-N, and I emphasise the spelling because it's a formidably difficult name to give over the telephone or to any business house. They invariably want to add an E, an S, a Y or an ES or something to it. And when they do eventually get it, there is the inevitable round of jokes which they're sure you've never heard before, like I'm sure I've met your brother Ben, or do you have a sister Ida Down? Is your dog's name Pipe Down? Have you got a cousin Stan Down? And so on it goes. I'm sure there is absolutely none that I haven't heard before. Anyway, the reason that I mentioned Down is that 4 of us have been clients of Mo's for some 20 years since he first started. And as we added down and down and down and down, Mo's business went up and up and up and up. And it's been a singular joy to be serviced, first for my 2 adult children, then my mother, and finally myself by Mo's team. The challenges for the 4 of us were quite different. Our 2 children were both professionally trained, and their hearing was a massive impediment to their satisfactory progress in their workplace. And Mo was able to fit them with appropriate hearing aids, not just the aids themselves, but aids such that they would have access to all sorts of adjuncts to them so that they could operate in a conference environment or a seminar environment, one-to-one, small groups, and so on. And the coupling with their with their cell phones and hearing aids proved invaluable because the use of traditional phones had always proved nigh on impossible given the gravity of their hearing loss. So they were a particular case, and each was attended to very, very professionally and lovingly. And when tragically we lost our daughter 2 years ago, she was flying to a conference in Geneva, a United Nations conference, and suffered a pulmonary embolus on the plane. I thought it was a reflection of how personal the service to our daughter had been, that ear and hearing were well represented at her memorial service, and we were very, very grateful for that. And I think there are a few professional services one could ever draw on and assume that support would run to attending a memorial service following a death like that. The 3rd member of our family was my mother, who by the time she started wearing hearing aids was very advanced in years, and the whole person is treated. So it was noted that she had arthritic fingers and therefore would be unlikely to be able to tune, adjust and so forth her hearing aids. A lot of care went into telling her how she could put the batteries in and out, and they were set at an optimum setting with no need for further adjustment to them. Mo was very, very patient with running repairs, like arthritic fingers would wrench the little battery cell open and the whole thing would come out rather than just the battery. So running repairs were always attended to promptly and graciously. And again, I'm very, very thankful for that. I suffered a different sort of deafness from our children, high frequency deafness initially only in one ear, and Mo advocated very wisely in the event getting a pair of hearing aids, notwithstanding that one of them was just going along for the beer and the other one was working hard. And the important thing there was that as the second ear started to lose acuity as well, then I was deriving full benefit from the hearing aid in that ear. And I've always said to my friends that the instant you're aware of hearing loss, you should attend a professional and probably start wearing hearing aids straight away, because the retention of things like discrimination between what you want to hear and what you don't want to hear is much better addressed if you start wearing hearing aids right from the outset. Many of you would be aware of that, and we were very grateful for that advice. So the quality, the continuity and the professionalism that we've enjoyed has been superb, and the personal touches have been very, very much appreciated. And I can speak for our late daughter and our son in passing on our sincere thanks for the difference it's made in their workplace, and each of them was able to achieve extraordinary lengths by dint of that help. So thank you very much indeed, Mo.